So recently we made a video regarding Jasmine going to Panama. Why? Well, because somebody on Reddit said that their husband was on a flight from Florida to Panama. And on that flight, they saw Jasmine, Matt, and Matilda. Now, of course, at the same time, people were thinking, yeah, but this is just somebody of Reddit. Does it really make sense? And then also on top of that, this person said that he saw Jasmine on a first class flight as well to Panama. And also on top of that, this same man, the same husband, shall I say, when he flew back from Panama back to Florida, he ended up being on the same flight, well, not the same flight legit, but ended up being on a plane with the same crew that was a part of the crew that he was on when he went there. And apparently he asked them if that really was Jasmine on the flight with them, and they said yes. And they also said that Jasmine frequently flies with us. Again, we are sitting there thinking first class, frequent basis all the way to Panama, and we don't know nothing about it. Why would Jasmine not say anything about it? Because of the amount of hate that she gets for not being there for her kids, for her sons. And that's why I really and truly, even after that video, when we did find the evidence that maybe linked up the information, now the only evidence at the time that we had that linked up the information to be true was this image, or a series of these images where we saw Jasmine on a flight pretty much around the same time this man said he saw Jasmine on a flight from Florida to Panama. But of course, at the same time, I still don't know for sure if this flight here doesn't represent what first class looks like on whichever airline that they took to Panama from Florida. But here's the thing, folks. Now this is where things get very, very interesting. Because Jasmine then decided to respond to someone. Someone decided to come and ask Jasmine the simple question, what the hell is going on with your boys? What is the situation? And Jasmine came out to respond. And well, this is exactly what she had to pretty much show and say. Show and tell is the word that I've been looking for right here. Now, as you can see, just behind my head itself in particular, ladies and gentlemen, should I disappear or should I stay in the way? Of course, I'm going to quickly run off the screen and show you guys exactly what I have discovered. So as you can see here, this young man decided to come out and ask Jasmine a question. Just wondering, have you gotten back to your children that are across country? I hope so. Beautiful new baby. And as you can see, Jasmine comes in and responds and saying they come into USA to permanently live with us, and Matt is gonna become their legal father as well. I ain't gonna lie to you folks, the second that I heard this whole thing about legal father, I was like, what? He's gonna be doing what? So not only are we in a position now where Jasmine is telling us, well, I mean, this doesn't necessarily confirm 1000% that Jasmine was on a flight to Panama necessarily, but it obviously further adds to that conversation, because obviously now we're in a position where we are seeing Jasmine responding to someone on the TikTok and literally telling them that, hey, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, the babies are coming. The boys are coming. They are coming right here to the United States of America. And not only they coming to the United States of America, but Matt is even going to adopt them too. So therefore, I can give Matt his wishes of finally being able to raise boys, because he doesn't want to raise girls, clearly. But the question that I really want to ask is, why would the father, or any of the fathers, why would they want to give up legal representation of their kids? I mean, look at it this way. We know one child that she's got is living with one of her family members, and we know the other child is living with her ex-husband. So we know for sure that the one that's living with the ex-husband, at least that's what we was told anyway, that one itself in particular, well, she would need permission from him. And why would he want to give up the right to his son if he's been looking after his son all this time? You see what I'm saying? Now, obviously, the other one that lives with her family member, different conversation, because I guess she has rights to that one. So therefore, there's no confusion whatsoever, no complications. But the one that lives with her ex-husband, that one doesn't really make sense to me. And of course, when it comes to Jasmine, everybody finds it very hard to believe anything that she says, because, well, she doesn't always say things that are truthful. Jasmine always says a lot of things, and whether they're truthful or not is where pretty much things get a bit shady, get a bit fuzzy, get a bit blurry. So this brings the question one, was Jasmine really on a flight to Panama in first class? That's question number one. Will we ever have the answer to that? I don't know. But this is the main question. Do we believe that Jasmine really is in a position where she's going to be able to bring her kids to the United States permanently, and also be able to be, and Matt's going to be able to be a legal father? Now, my assumption is that the only reason why these kids are going to be coming on a permanent basis so easy is probably because they are going to be getting adopted by Matt legally, and I can imagine that will play a part. Of course, obviously he's Romanian by birth, but I'm pretty sure he's also an American citizen by now, so therefore he'd have that power anyway. So I do wonder if that's why, of course, he's going to become that permanent guardian. But again, for me personally, I still cannot fathom a father who's looked after his own son to give away his son to a woman, to another man, just so his son can live in America. And also, let's not forget, if this guy gives away the power of his son to Matt, that man will never have any power over that child ever again. So if he ever wants to come and see his child, Jasmine's going to have to give the same. Matt's going to have to give the same. If he ever wants that child to come out to Panama to see him, well, what power does he have? Do you see what I'm saying? Because let's not forget, that means the child's last name is also going to change. Now, that's where things get even more interesting. Let's talk about change of name. Currently, Jasmine and Matt's baby, Matilda, does not have Matt's last name. This baby right now has Gino's last name because Jasmine obviously got pregnant while married, and due to the state laws or whatever you want to call it, especially in Michigan, this is obviously what's happened. What's happened is that Jasmine has obviously had to give Matilda Gino's last name too. So it's gonna be kind of weird, isn't it? Now, really and truly, so many different dynamics. Two brothers already probably have the two different last names anyway. But then they're gonna get adopted, get Matt's last name. But then Matilda's gonna have Gino's last name. So when the hell does that name then change over to Matt's last name? Probably after the divorce happens with her and Gino. Oh my days, the whole thing is a cluster. Let's make sense out of it, hey. So really and truly, like I said before, what this really comes down to is, do we believe this to be true? But at the same time, let's not forget though, this does not necessarily mean that Jasmine has necessarily won this legal immigration battle just yet. Maybe it points out that they're on the right path to get approval, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that has also been 100% cleared as well. So there's also that part as well. So many questions. And all I have is the answers that you guys can give me based on your own assumptions. But I guess we have to wait and see if Jasmine is able to finally bring these kids to America. Because really and truly, I feel like the truth itself that we need is seeing these boys in America. And also, there's also the question, if this is true, when is it going to happen? Because she's making it sound as if it's going to happen by the end of this year. Well, with that being said, let me know exactly what you're thinking down below, ladies and gentlemen. We can definitely talk about it and break it down. But hey, stay tuned, because there's some more content coming along that's going to be juicy. And also there's a live stream later on today too, so please make sure you're there for that as well. And with that being said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.